Michaela Nogueira buys a $4.5 million home, and Jools Lebron, the very demure girl, just exposed Patrick Starrr for the third time. We have more receipts today. So this is breaking news. Grab a snack and come on back. All right, so first of all, I want to jump into very demure girl. This is her, I think, second or third time exposing Patrick Starrr. The very first time that she exposed Patrick Starrr, she put out this, notepad apology thing, and she was saying that Patrick Starrr allegedly blackballed her from the beauty community, making it difficult for her to get brand deals. That's what she said. She went live this morning, and a lot of people showed up, and they kept asking her about that said video. Well, this is what she had to say. Here we go.
I post about it, girl. Patrick Starrr tried ruining my life. Yeah, I said it. I don't give a fuck. And that shit really threw me, girl. That really threw me into a depression. And so then, that was the entire problem, girl. That was the entire problem. So, like, it was never Patrick Starrr. All I'm gonna say is I worked with this person. I'm gonna be very careful with how I word this because I know that motherfucker got his spies out here. But basically, there's a situation with this person's brand that they founded. They had an event and I almost passed away. That's not a joke. I'm not being facetious. I'm not trying to be funny. That's real. I literally almost lost my life. I was on a phone call with my mother, like telling her, like, I'm across the country and I'm like so scared because I'm in a situation where they're telling me like you could have passed away right now. And all of this is happening during a time period where I'm working for them. I'm in LA with them for their thing. And I post like a little hee hee ha ha video about it. And obviously this is like still deeply affecting me. So I post like a little like hee hee ha ha video, like oh, I'm in the hospital because I'm trying to make myself feel better because I'm so scared. Like there's nurses telling me like, if you would have got here like any later, like your organs started shutting down, and like I don't have anyone with me. I'm by myself, and so again, I posted a little hee hee ha ha video about it, trying to make myself feel better. And this person did not like that I posted that video. And I think that they thought it was disrespectful that I posted this video. I think it's disrespectful. I almost died at your event of the brand that you own. Yeah, clock that. So then, what's it called? So then, girl, for weeks, I'm in the hospital, girl. I'm in the hospital for weeks. You guys scroll down to my page. Go ahead, see it. Last summer 2023, there's a chunk of that summer I'm in the hospital. And it's because my organs started shutting down. It's because I almost passed away. And this person was telling me, don't worry about the bills. Don't worry about any of that. You know, like, we're going to take care of it. Just focus on getting better. Focus on getting better. So then, you know, I go to the hospital. Now, mind you, no one's coming up with this money, though. I'm a broke influencer. I'm not making that much money. These are some of my first brand deals. And I'm having to use this money to pay these little medications and these little hospital stays because it's week-long stint.
Yep, Patrick Starrr, it seems like, was talking down about, I mean, Maddie Amy Way. I mean, when I watched the video back, I was like in shock. In shock that I feel like Patrick Starrr underestimated Jools Lebron. For Patrick Starrr to tell Jules all that information and Jules wouldn't repeat it, that's what I'm talking about. Now, when it comes to Jules, I will say this. She's very open-minded and she speaks out, but like, is that actually what happened? So I want to hear it. I want to hear it one more time.
Basically, I'm in and out of hospitals. Now, this collapse that happened where I almost passed away was so bad, I lost vision in my left eye almost completely. My left leg fully went numb. Like, I had to get physical therapy to like rehabilitate it. And so then I'm again thinking these people got me you know, they're gonna take care of all my hospital bills. They're gonna take care of everything. Girl, I've tried to go on Just Church. I don't think Just Church is fucking with me. Like, I've tried to message Oscar. I've tried to message the girls. I don't think Just Church is fucking with me. But basically, they tell me all this stuff. So then I message this person and I say, hey, I need to go to an ophthalmologist. I have to go to eye specialist because the vision in my left eye is leaving because of this event, right? This motherfucker replies. This millionaire replies. You know what's really good for your eyes? If you eat carrots. What? If I eat carrots? You're a millionaire. You're a millionaire. You want to know how I know that? Because you told me about 17 times while you were talking shit about all your old friends. Clock that. You told me about 1,000,000 times you're a millionaire. And you're going to tell me to go eat some motherfucking carrots while I've lost vision in my eye, while my family's worried about me fucking passing away across the country? You're going to tell me to go eat some motherfucking carrots? After I almost died in your care and you're lucky enough for me not to sue your ass? Go eat carrots? Miss Starrr? What? So then, mind you, already broke because I'm the one paying all these hospital bills and this millionaire's just told me this. Then goes on. Now, I didn't know this at the time. This only came up to front during very demure. I'm having all these different meetings with brands. I'm having all these different crazy things happen with brands. And one by one, makeup brands are coming through to me, personally emailing me. That gay person that works at that makeup brand messages me, oh, this person said not to work with you because you're messy. This person said not to work with you because you're problematic. And it's the same story from multiple makeup brands. This person said that you're not a good fit. This person said they had a bad experience. I almost died on their set. If I told the influencers not to work with you because they might pass away on your set, I'd be wrong, right? But you can tell makeup brands, a struggling influencer, that they should go over here and forfeit their relationship with them. You don't think that that's crazy to do to someone? So you almost kill me. You almost do that, girl. Then you gotta take me out of the game too? Now, girl. So then I'm thinking, now mind you again, I did not know this until August of 2024. This is happening summer of 2023. So from 2023 until 2024, in my mind, I don't know any of this is happening. So I'm thinking, damn, I'm a flop. I lost all my brand deals. I don't know why brands don't want. Is over here behind the scenes pulling strings, playing Puppet Master, and I should.
That Patrick Starr's behind the scenes pulling Puppet Master?
I don't know, because day one, you're telling me all this shit about Manny. You're telling me about how Lil Miss Jacqueline hits the powder, how Nikki does this.
That Jacqueline Hill does powder? Jacqueline Hill does powder?
Jeffrey don't like each other and how
that Jacqueline Hill and Jeffree Star don't like each other?
Nikki was friends with Jeffrey and how Nikita took you to this restaurant that was
Nikki Tutorials, friends with Jeffrey. What?
Across the street from the Abbey, so that you're telling me all the hottest gossip about all your divas. I should have known. I should have known you weren't right. You've only known me for 0.23 seconds, and I've heard all the gossip about all the biggest beauty influencers. Y'all, Dramageddon? I know the truth about Dramageddon. Y'all don't know anything about the truth about Dramageddon. All of this.
Wow. Well, you know, apparently, from what I know, something about Nikita Dragon was hooking up or flirting with Manny MUA's brother. And these are rumors. And how Manny MUA's dad was upset about that. And how Manny chose his brother over standing up for his friend Nikita. Like, it was like something like that, right? That was one of the biggest scandals. But like, I hope if that's what's going on. And so maybe Jules can tell us the truth about it. Very interesting. You know, I do find it very interesting that when Jules links up with Patrick Starr is already telling Jules all the beauty tea. Like, really? Why would you so fast like that? And, you know, anyways, I want to know what you guys think about that in the comments down below. And I wonder if Jaclyn Hill will denounce that now that she's being accused of doing powder. And will Manny MUA say anything? Because you know Patrick Starr was talking down about Manny MUA. You know Patrick Starr was talking mess about him. Anyway, switching gears here. Michaela Nogueira decided to buy a house. She bought a $4.5 million house. And she's upgrading it from her $3 million house. That's why she's been missing from social media for a whole week, girl. I went looking for Michaela Nogueira on the street and I couldn't find her. Here we go. Let me show you that clip, girl. Grab a snack and come on back. Michaela Nogueira is missing. I'm going to hand out these flyers all over Houston, Texas, Galleria, the Beverly Hills of Houston, to find Michaela. Let's go, guys. Okay, chat, we're out here in the streets looking for Michaela. Is that her? Michaela? All right, we're going to put this on the cars. You guys, if anyone has seen Michaela, she hasn't posted on TikTok in a couple days. Oh, it's hotter than a hooker in hell out here in Houston, Texas. And y'all call me a hater, and I'm the only one out here looking for Michaela. Let me see if she's in here. Michaela! Michaela, did you know that Elf bought Hailey Bieber for $1 billion, Road Beauty? Michaela, are you in here? Girl. So if you guys don't know, Michaela Nogueira hasn't posted on TikTok in a few days. And people are now worried about her. Michaela Nogueira is missing. All right, we're in the Galleria. All right, we're gonna stick this one right here. You guys, when Michaela comes back, y'all make sure you tag me, girl. We're trying to find her. We're out here. The street team. Rich Luck street team reporting live. And we're looking for Michaela. Clock at the house, girl. Clock it. I'll put her in another car. There you go. I hope y'all find Michaela, girl. There she goes. Putting in all the trees. On all the trees. Michaela Nogueira, missing. I just want to say that y'all always say, you're a hater. You're a hater. But when she goes missing, who's out here in the streets? Me. Michaela goes missing, I'm the one who cares enough to look for her. Not Cody. So like this video. Comment down below where she would be. Have you seen Michaela? I think that's her. The only one out here looking for her. Have you seen Michaela Nogueira? All right, this is Rich Lux reporting live on TikTok. Let's go, chat. Now, if you made it this far on the video, drop a heart emoji in the chat. Let's go. Michaela! All right, so Michaela posted this video about her buying this new home. First of all, her husband that she loves so much, that she hypes up so much, his name's not even on the house deed or whatever. His name's not even on that. Second of all, I want to know, did she pay cash for this house or is she financing this house? I just want to know, you know, I'm like, be nosy. And then third of all, it's like let me show you the receipt of her talking about this house. And then we're going to dissect what she's not telling you. Here we go.
Moving! 3 months ago, Cody and I bought a new house, and I'm so excited that I can actually share this with you. Cody and I have lived in our current home for over 3 years. I'm going to be completely transparent. Last year was an extremely difficult year in my marriage, for my husband, for me, and we want a fresh start. Cody and I have made a lot of beautiful memories in this home, but the bad ones kind of outweigh the good. And believe me, I know that sounds extremely negative, but the things that you go through in an addict household, I'm not going to get into details, but we just need to move. And we are extremely excited. The house that we bought is our forever home. This is the home where we want to make it our home. We have spent the last 3 months doing renovations on this house to truly make it our house. This is where we want to raise a family and truly build our life together. And in regards to the family comment, I will talk about that at a later date. But you guys are about to enter a totally new chapter in my life. And when I tell you I could not be more ready, honestly, I wouldn't even call this a new chapter in my life. I would call it a new book. Cody and I are writing a new book. And it's funny, even though this is the first time mentioning that we're moving, many of you figured it out. You're very smart. You notice the things like the background getting emptier. And it's so funny, my house is literally empty right now. This is the only room I have not packed because this is where I work. I know that people have a lot to say about my marriage and me and my husband and everything regarding that. But what I can tell you is that Cody and I are fighting for each other. And he's fighting for his sobriety. And I keep seeing people comment, we do recover. And I love that. I love it. Because Cody is coming up on 3 months of sobriety. And I could not be more proud of him. And I'm not saying we're going to move into this new house and snap your fingers and life's perfect. I'm aware that a relapse could happen or things will go wrong. That's life. But I'm just excited to be able to really build our life together in this new home and the family and everything. I'm ready for the good and the bad, bitch. The fact of the matter is, places hold memories, but they also hold trauma. And Cody and I are both just ready to have a new place for new memories. And I'm not saying there'll never be trauma, but it's between Cody and I. We get why we're doing this. The only people who truly have to understand why Cody and I are moving is Cody and I. But you guys are like my virtual family, and I like to share with you, so I'm definitely going to take you along this journey with me. I am incredibly grateful that Cody and I are fortunate enough to do this. And I will never truly be able to thank you enough for the support you have shown Cody and I. So get ready for a whole lot of moving content, because I'm about to pack this entire beauty room. Pray for me. Thank you for always supporting me and following my journey. Thank you for always supporting Cody and I's journey. It's time for the next pat.
All right. So she's sitting there and talking about Cody and their relationship, how she loves him, but he's not even on the list on the house paperwork. You're not even telling your audience how this was a major upgrade from a $3 million house to a $4.5 million house, right? So it's like you're taking us on this journey, but like taking us on the journey. Like she's not being as real and authentic and sharing really what's going on. And this is one of the things I don't like about Michaela. It's like a lot of half-truths, paltering the truth, things like that. It's a lot of just like, a little razzle-dazzle, hocus pocus. No, tell us the tea. Tell us how you just spent 4.5 on a house. Tell us the tea. Tell us how come Cody's name is not on the paperwork for the house. Like, tell us that. Tell us how you maybe want to kick him out. Because you're sitting there and how much of a blessing it is to be able to move and just get away from all that negative energy from that old house. And not many people can do that. And Michaela Nogueira's audience, they're never probably going to have a $4.5 million house. They're never going to be in a situation probably where they can just easily, I had bad vibes here, I'm moving, and get rid of it. You know what I'm saying? It's so manipulation, and the whole thing. And she's putting on her new Whip It skincare point of view stuff. And I'm just like, I got to take a sip of water. Hold on. I can't believe it. I was watching it go down and I'm just like, and the audience is going to eat it up. They're not going to know about all this information of the behind the scenes tea. They want it. And I'm just like, you know what? Good for her. Good for her buying a new house. And that's what people want. Good for her not putting her man's name on the paperwork. I feel like this situation right here is not helping Michaela Nogueira and Cody's relationship. Them buying a new house is not going to help the situation at all. It's just not. La boo boo. La boo 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 boo. What's up, guys? I got your favorite Pink Scorpio. Piglet Boo Boo in the house. Okay, guys, we have a lot to talk about. Jools Lebron is exposing Patrick Starrr. And when I first saw this happen, see, I was in the live stream. I was there.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like this is all my fault.
What?
because when I went into the live stream, I gifted her a heart me and some gifts. And then she says, "Oh, hey, Rich Loves. We got the vlogs. We got the vlogs in here." And I said, I'm just here for the tea. And then she was talking about like being annoyed by some people and how like she will always take a picture with fans. Always. That's what she was talking about. And then I said to myself, "Oh, ain't no tea here. I'm leaving." And I left. I left. Well, after I left, this is when all this happened. Well, I didn't get it screen recorded, but I have the footage now. And she goes on to say, and she mentions Patrick Starr's name in that two-part series. Did you catch it?
I did, and I was so shocked that she finally announced his name because in the beginning she didn't do it. Like, or I think in the remember in
And
the
I
one
know,
at the
I know.
Beyonce
Yep.
concert?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Beyonce concert. She said, "Honey, you might be a star, but I'm an icon." So I remember that tidbit.
Yes. And then after that, she put, STRRR. And so I knew it was Patrick Starr. I mean, I've been knowing. And people thought that it was Patrick Ta ha 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 ha, but it wasn't. Then today, yesterday, she says Patrick Starr's name. And then this is where things get a little interesting. You ready for this one?
I'm ready, girl.
My critique, and what this is with peace and love, because listen, I've been down this road before. I've seen this happen to other influencers. It's happened to me as well. I've been on both ends of it. And usually, this is my conciseness for it. Mind you, Jules knew of this, but decided to stay quiet until the friendship was no longer convenient to her and didn't get her way. Interesting. I'm not even a fan of Patrick Starr. And so a lot of people were like, you know what? That's a good point. And I really do think that Jules, like, she had people in her live stream. Like, people were all up in there watching and commenting and things like that. So I think Jules is loving the gig, loving the attention. I think she's riding off a really good month financially off the brand deal that she got that took her to the Beyonce concert. This is just me speaking. And she somehow has made herself relevant again with exposing the beauty community. Nobody saw that coming. And I wonder, can she keep it up, the longevity of it? Because there is no like tea girl who's spilling the tea and drama. I would love for her if she did it full time, but I don't know if she's gonna do that or not. All right, go ahead. Your thoughts.
Number one, I don't think that she would do it full time. I don't think that that's like her gig, which I wish she would make it her gig
I know
because
I live for her.
she got like a full like behind the curtain, but then again too it was from Patrick Starr's point of view, you know what I mean? So I kind of feel like Patrick, somebody called it out on your live one day. They were like, Patrick is not does not have personality, he has skill, and that's like what
Hmm.
has carried him, you know, in the beauty community. And I think that he's done well for himself, but I've always seen him as like a very like jaded person. I never see him happy. Like it's there's always an attitude, there's always like a Fuchi face. It's always like not able to keep a friendship, but be so for real. Like I'm especially in the beginning, right? Like I so remember like him and Manny were best friends, and that relationship, I don't want to say that Manny was the fault of it, but like I always got the vibe that it was like Patrick's doing. I don't know, that's just me. Anyways,
No, I
but
think
as
that.
far as
Oh, go
oh, go
ahead.
ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, just getting back to Jules, I really feel like I was super okay. I have personally never heard that Jacqueline was snowing or was
Mm-hmm.
skiing, I'm
Mm-hmm.
sorry, was never
Mm-hmm.
a frequent visitor of the ski resorts. I never have not heard that. I mean, like um amongst like my friends, right? Like we've talked about it, but like not like a drama channel, an influencer, like no one, right?
Yeah.
And we just said, like, here we go. We had always said that because her partner, had struggled with things, everyone was like, she's done it. Me personally, I was like, what? No, never. She's the golden girl. Oh my God. But again, like, if you looked at who her previous husband was, everyone's like, she experimented. So again, never publicly heard it, but there was whispers, right?
Mm.
So I don't know. So once you come out with things like that, you can't take those things back. And it's very much like she let the cat out of the bag, maybe to get a little bit of traction. And by all means, from what it sounds like, this whole situation with Patrick, and she said that something had happened to her on the set of One Size, like while she was shooting for One Size. Um, I don't know. It just sounds like, I don't know. I don't know how else to explain it. It sounds like there was something else that happened, and if neither one is going to come out and talk about it, because she kind of said, like, I almost passed away, right? But she's not
Mm-hmm.
telling us, like, exactly what happened. Like, you can't just throw those things out there. You need to give, like, full context. You need to give, like, the full situation, the full scenario. Did Patrick help you? Like, was 911
Was
called?
Patrick Starr even responsible?
Exactly. Like, if it was an underlying health condition that you showed up to the set with, again, like, what matter, it's not Patrick's fault that it happened. I'm just speaking just because I don't know the entire situation. But if he helped you, and I do agree that the carrot comment, did you hear about that?
No. Oh
That
yes,
Patrick,
yes. She did something about her eyes. She couldn't see out of it, as blurry, and she was like, carrots help with your eyes.
yeah, and then Patrick was like, oh, you know what's good for your eyes? If you eat carrots. Like, I don't think that he was trying to be rude. Like, that's like something that, like, I don't know, did your mom tell you that growing up, or did you
Yes, my
hear
mom
that
told
growing
me
up?
that many times.
Yeah, like growing up, that was like, I remember I used to peel carrots and I would eat them. Like, I would
Mm.
eat whole carrots as a snack, and everyone would always tell me, like, oh, your eyes must be so good.
Like
Like,
I've seen, like, I've been around the block a few times. I think that
mm-hmm,
Jules coming out and speaking about Patrick Starr in this way is very shocking, and people are like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you're saying this," and it gets clicks and views. But the sword
mm-hmm,
cuts both ways, because now it makes it seem like, oh well, as a brand, do we want to work with Jules because she's gonna expose us if we do something wrong, and not keep it
mm-hmm.
cordial? Like, it's like there's a way to go. Like, what I'm trying to say is that, like, Jules could have gotten a lot further if she maybe would have did a little civil lawsuit against Patrick,
But is there a lawsuit to stand on? That's my question, because
And they're like,
if,
I get what you're saying, like, just kept quiet, just send him a cease lawsuit. But and I get what you're saying. Is there a lawsuit to stand on? Well, a lot of times people just settle out of court.
that's true, to me, I just feel like Jules, I love her. It just seems like there's always an issue. There's always
Mm.
something, like, and again, um
Wait,
because
are
of
you
her
saying
previous
that Jules is problematic?
yes. And
Oh,
girl,
oh,
but my whole thing again is just, this isn't the first time that she's come out against brands, and
oh no, it's not. No.
it's easy to point fingers, it's easy to accuse people of being problematic when your whole track record is you being problematic. Like, okay, you know what, I just saw a video where sorry, y'all, I'm just getting out of bed. I just saw a video where they were talking about trademarks and how Very Demure was taken from Jules when it first came out,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So I can only imagine that when Very Demure was, like, at its peak, and she wanted to make merch on it, and she found out that she was unable to, and this is just me thinking, right?
Hmm.
I'm assuming that that happened after she already invested money into it.
Oh yeah, but not only that, but like what I found really shady. I don't think Jules ever talked about this. It's all these little makeup brands who are popular on TikTok were doing, like, very demure lip gloss and
Mm-hmm.
demure, and I'm just like, come on, why don't you, like, You literally just ripped that off from Jules because she made it popular. She popularized
Mhm.
it, and you're blatantly taking the name from her. And like, can you give her
Yeah.
a kickback at least? Like just out of courtesy, because Jules could easily be like, "This small brand is stealing my gig," and da 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 da, you know. And I'm like, I'll keep it real. It's that Boss Up Cosmetics. They
Ew.
have a lip oil called Very Demure or something like that. And I'm looking at it, I'm just like, oh, maybe they did a collab with Jules. And no, I'm just like, that would have went. I mean, like, I don't think Jules is money hungry. I think she would have did it for like 5K or like 50% of sales or something. And for Boss Up Cosmetics, they probably would have had a loss, but it would have brought attention to the brand. For example, they'll go to the website to purchase the Jules lipstick or lip oil, but then they'll also add other things to their cart.
To get free shipping, of course, or
Yeah.
the free gift.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And I'm just like, that was kind of shady. And so I think that Jules is I think so much has been taken from Jules that she has to fight. That makes sense. Hello. Yeah. And
No, I
so
get it. It's just,
but
can
I'm
I
not
just say really
no,
quick?
please.
No, but even with Jules, like, yes, she has to fight, but she put herself in this position. It's almost like you're mad that people view you a certain way when that's all you've given the people. I don't doubt that Jules is a very demure lady, right? Like, I don't doubt that she's, not a sweet person. I think that she's a very sweet person. But I think what happens is you've done all these things and now you're like left beside yourself because you've acted out so many different times.
Well, yeah. And so you're 100% correct. And also just keep in mind that the sword will always cut both ways. So if Jules is complaining about Patrick Starr XYZ, and then people are going to bring up, well, you also complained about Patrick Tall, you also complained about Patrick Starr, and you complained about this and that. And so it just paints her in a way like, man, she's always complaining. She's never happy. You know what I'm saying? And so then it cuts both ways. So now anytime she complains, it's like, oh, here she goes, always complaining again. So it's kind of like damned if you do, damned if you don't. It's kind of like Jeffree Star flying out that guy Bent or Jim Bent when he flew him out. And then it's like, well, I mean, it made Jeffree Star look bad, but then people in the comments are like, I mean, Jim got flown out. He already know what was that. So it's always going to be cut both ways. So right now, there's a lot of people on Jules' side, and they're like, "How I'm sorry this happened to you. I can't believe Patrick Star is such a mean person like that." So that's what's going on with that part. But then in a couple hours, it's gonna shift, and they're gonna be like, "Well, wait a minute. She's always complaining. She's always doing this." And then I think if that happens loud enough, Jules would be like, "Now, now what we're not gonna do is make Jules the villain of 2025." And then she'll probably expose more stuff. And now, what I'm interested even more now in Jules is when she said, "I know what really happened with Dramageddon." And I'm like, well, you only know what Patrick Starr told you because I know what really happened with Dramageddon. And if you really tapped into it and know about it, the issue with Dramageddon that I know of was Nikita Dragon and Manny MUA's brother had something going on. And Manny
Girl.
MUA's dad didn't like that and intervened. And Manny MUA had to choose Nikita or family, and Manny chose family, and that's one of the situations. And now they drink boba. Now, this is all rumors and speculation, but there's countless videos up about it. This is not the first time I'm saying this. There's many videos about it on YouTube repeating what I had just said. Thoughts?
Sorry, y'all. I'm getting my coffee. Well, my entire thing with Jules saying the whole Dramageddon bit, it's so old that you have to be like a really, really dedicated beauty drama.
And Jules is.
Yes, but like you would have had to like really have been subscribed at that time.
And Jules
And I
was.
kind of, but the thing is, I think that a lot of people have talked about it on their own terms, on their own, like on separate podcasts, on like all those different things. Thank you. And I think that at this point, like everybody kind of knows about that. Like the whole situation with Nikita, Manny's brother, and stuff. Like, I don't know if you talked about it, but I have heard that multiple times before. So it's nothing new. You know what I mean? And for Jules to bring it up, I
No,
just feel like it's a reach. I think it was a
no,
I don't.
no. Let me tell you why Jules brought it up. The views were high, right? The views were high. The people
Mhm.
were excited. They were like rallying her. They were rallying behind Jules. And what you're failing to understand, I want to get you to understand this.
Mhm.
On TikTok, it's brand new. These people who are on TikTok, they don't know. They don't know. This is why like Michaela can get away with so much. But on YouTube, the audience on YouTube, they can clock it. They've been there, done that. We've been through the scandals, the oh my God, it's sold out. And then a week later, you guys, since so many people wanted it, we're bringing it back one time, limited edition. You know what I'm saying? So we've been through all that on YouTube. This TikTok audience, they're new. They weren't around for that. It's a younger app. And so this is why people don't know. Like you have Woofy Raps who cheated on his girlfriend and got canceled and all these things, and yet he's on TikTok. So all these people get canceled and they run to TikTok like it's and then nobody knows about their past.
Mhm.
So when you're saying, ah man, it is old news. Yeah, it is to us. We've been there, done that, bought the t-shirt. We're front row seats. To these people, the 18, 19-year-old girl who works at the MAC Cosmetics who's coming home and watching Jools Lebron bitch, they don't know anything about this. This all new to her. So now she's looking back at all these videos and what is drama getting? What is that? What about Jeffree Star? I know who that is. What? And then she's popping the bubble. So that way, like when a situation happened with James Charles, now people are like, he did all that? What? This happening again? How did he get away the first time?
Mhm.
So by Jules bringing this up again, it's new. It's the new generation who is finding out about it.
I did not look at it like that, and it's so funny because I had seen it that way with the whole James Charles thing, with all the kids who were like, "What do you mean I love James Charles?" And especially her
Yeah.
critiquing Kayla Malik for being his friend. While at the same time, I'm like, you have to understand with her, she was a 12-year-old who was in line getting the what was his palette called? I think it was just like the Morphe X James Charles palette, right?
Mm-hmm.
Artistry palette. There you go. So that's very true. I didn't even think about
Yeah, new younger audience who don't know the tea. And
it.
so when Jules brought it up, now people they're going to want to investigate and find out what is going on over
Mhm.
here.
Dang. You know what? And it kind of goes back to I sent you a TikTok this morning, right? Where it was this girl who was on like her daily walk. She looks like she was in college. She's like, I don't get why Elf bought Road over One Size because One Size is up for sale too. But it was funny because it's like, because again, she falls into that demographic. And it's just like, girl, if you really look at it, it was a no brainer. I mean, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
But again, you have to remember that they are a younger audience.
They don't know the tea. And so that's why I love the news because people can get educated on what happened. Now, let me ask you this. And I think you know a lot of behind the scenes stuff. Do you think that this Jules and Patrick Star stuff is all made up? You know how the girls do it. They start scandals to stay relevant.
Okay, I think I just feel in from this lens that it is made up. I
Oh.
think listen, I think that if there was something that truly happened on set, a good lawyer would have reached out to Jules almost immediately, right? Well, because look at it, like Jules is saying that she almost passed away, And if the set who was hosting her at the time didn't do anything about it, it's like, okay, am I allowed to bring other situations up?
Just don't say no names.
Oh, then I'll just leave it. I'll never
Okay.
mind. Anyways,
Well, because
okay.
if Patrick Starr runs a tight ship, which I think he does, then
Mhm.
like when I do my music videos, when I do music videos, I have everyone sign an this form, and it's called a liability, like a
Yes.
non-liability disclosure form, I think is what we call it. And then I have Jordan or Elton, they'll just walk around and they'll be like, "Hey, before we get
Mhm.
started, can you sign this paper?" And then the person looks confused, and Elton says, or Jordan will say, "It's just stating that if you get hurt on set, we're not responsible."
A liability release form.
Yeah. And so then they're like, "But if you want to look it over with your lawyer or your family, go ahead, take your time, but we can't start unless this gets signed." And everyone, like, once you tell them, like, it's a waiver that if you get hurt, we're not responsible. What they kind of like, "Oh, okay, cool." Like they get the gig. I'm not saying that anything's gonna happen, but I mean, if you look at my music videos, we've had fire, we've had water, we've had a lot of stuff going on. And
Mhm.
so it's just protects me from somebody, a wig
Yeah.
catching on fire or something, who knows. And not to say that if something were to happen, I wouldn't take care of them. Just saying. But it's just there is that I'm not, well, girl, I'm not responsible. You know what I'm saying? And if Patrick Starr runs a tight ship, then I think what happened was Jules did the gig, and then Jules was like, "I'm not feeling well. I'm in the hospital. I can't feel my leg. My eyes on blurry vision. This all happened at your event." And so I think that Patrick is like, "I feel bad for you." And if you notice, Patrick Starr, according to Jules, said, "I will pay for the bill, for the medical bills. Don't worry about it."
But then Jules ended up paying for all of it.
Yeah, so reimburse her. If
Yeah.
at the end of the day, if Patrick Starr said that she was gonna do it and didn't do it, that's shady.
Mhm.
Like there's a I've always told you, like, I'm very like transactional person when it comes to business. And so if
Mhm.
you like listen, like because you're for guys who don't, Pig Squirrel does not live around me, so it's far away. But like how I communicate with the people around me, it's almost like we're always negotiating. And so like if somebody tells me something, I'm like, "Can I get it in writing?" And then but because it was such a good thing they said, it's almost too good to be true. Can I get it in writing? And it's like we always assume it always goes back to like, "Can I get it in writing? Let's do a contract really quick." Like you would be shocked about the frivolous little contracts that we do. But it has to be done that way. And I try to let these people know, like, in business, you gotta have a contract. You gotta have it in writing. Or else you just you're preaching to the choir. And if Patrick Starr said that, I think Joel should have been like, "Can I please get it in writing? Can I send you an email and you respond to it and say yes, you will pay for the da 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 da. That way we have it in writing. I don't want to hear it over the phone. I don't want to hear it in a text message. Give it to me in an email. And let's just talk via email the whole time. That way I can see everything that's going on. I don't forget.
Well, and then too, like it's a record, right? So
It's
it's like
yeah.
because if we take it to court, then they're gonna say, well, where's the written contract? And
They're
this
no,
is
but they're gonna be
all
like, "Okay, well, Patrick Starr's not even liable." But
exactly.
you said you were going to take care of it. And guess what? At the end of the day, if Patrick Starr doesn't do it, it just paints Patrick Starr as a dishonest, bad friend. Right. And I don't think that, in my opinion, I don't think that Patrick Starr ever really saw Jules LeBron as a friend. I think that I'm going to keep it real. This girl's popping right now. I'm very popular. Let's see what I can get out of it. With how is this going to affect one size? And the gaggy part is Patrick Starr and Jules LeBron had collaborated before Jules blew up.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, just making sure. Well, you know what my giveaway is right now that this is fake?
Hmm.
The carrot thing. It's the carrot comment. My whole thing is that I feel like you always add like a dumb, like especially if you want to like blow it up, you add like the most minuscule thing and people will run with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's where I'm starting to feel like I
No,
wouldn't
no,
doubt
no.
it.
Can you repeat that to the audience who can hear it? Those who are driving home from work or listening while they're cleaning the house. Repeat that one more time.
So I think that what gives it away for this being like a fake thing is the fact that Jules added like the most minuscule, like little like quote from Patrick, like out of everything. Because you know how there's always like the straw that broke the camel's back.
Mm-hmm.
What this tells me, what's telling me that it is that Patrick told her, you know what's really good for your eyes? Because mind you, like Jules is going blind at this point because of whatever medical condition is happening. And Patrick tells her, you know what's good for your eyes? If you eat carrots. And typically in a scandal, people will take the most minuscule quote and they'll blow it up so that their audience runs with it. Because then it's like, it's believable because Patrick is already known to be a mean girl. Then to act like he doesn't care on top of it, it just checks out. That's my whole thing. I feel like you always add just like a little like non-serious thing and people will blow it up to be like the most biggest thing ever.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And like Jules can go on there and say, "Oh, Jeffree Star was rude to me," and boom, oh my God, I can't believe it. I can't believe she was rude to you. And it's like people don't ever like really back. I'm not saying that that didn't happen, but it's like it's just a wildfire on social media that one person can say one thing and it's like it just that's it. It's believable. Like it's believable.
Well, have you seen there's a creator, I forgot what her name is, and like she sued another creator for copying her aesthetic.
Oh
People
my.
magazine took the story and said this creator suing this creator over beige aesthetic for copying the beige aesthetic. So then the creator had to come on and say they just said the most ridiculous thing and that's not even what happened. But it was a catchy like it was a catchy phrase, right? Like, oh, she's being sued over the beige aesthetic. Like, obviously, that's not what the entire thing was about, but it was just like the most outrageous line. And it's like so unserious, right? Like, I'm suing you over the beige aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so not serious. Hmm.
Oh, okay. So I just I don't know. I would really want to hear Jules LeBron timeline of events. Like first, I collab with Patrick for one size. We did this. This is how much I got paid. You know, like I want details. You know me. I like to be nosy. I want to know, and I'm never gonna get this. And I've come to the conclusion that I'm never gonna get some of the things I want to hear. And it's kind of like, well, what hotel did you stay at? What'd you have for lunch? What was the catering there on set? Who did your makeup that day? You know what I'm saying? Like stuff. I just want to know. I just want to know all those things. You know?
Well, yeah, because it's interesting because you want to know. Well, you've had experience, right? I mean, like, well, I guess everybody has. You know how someone has treated you. You know how companies have treated you, how brands have treated you. You know who rolls out the red carpet for you, and you know who, like, definitely took a
Yes.
shortcut and put you in the budget suite, you know? Who
Yes.
put you
Because
exactly.
like if you're young and you don't know, then you don't know. But like I'll give you an example. When I did the streaming awards for H3 podcast, and they sent me a DM and they're like, "Hey, we want to fly you out so you can accept the award." I'm like, "Okay, sure." Gave them my information. I got to the hotel. It was the trying to think. It's one of my. Why am I drawing a blank, bro? The one Lindsay Lohan stayed at and ran up that bill. Do you remember? It was Chateau
Oh,
Marmont, right? Chateau Marmont.
mm-hmm,
That's what it's called. Yes, Chateau Marmont. That was a hotel. So I get
mm-hmm.
there, Chateau Marmont. It's time to go to the event. I get to the event and I have the point of contact meets me and they take me inside and I meet Gila and I'm meeting the cast And they're like, we're gonna take you. It's this one person takes me to the dressing room, and it has a little star on it with my name on the door. And then I walk in, and there's little flowers there to the side. I'm like, oh, and it was like, this is how you should be treated. This is how this set the bar.
Mm-hmm.
When some other people that just, put you at, like just like just a regular smuggler little room. I'm not saying I'm grateful for that, but it's set the bar higher than a lot of other places. And not only that, but like even the way that the whole show was ran was like they literally had people who would get you from your room and take you to the stage and bring you back and give
Mm-hmm.
you direction, and that was their whole gig. They got paid to do that. They like shuffle people around
Mm-hmm.
like babysitters, and they're really nice and professional. It was a great time. And I think Jules, now that Jules has went on to bigger brands, because I don't even know who she went on this brand trip with that saw Beyonce.
I could have sworn it was L'Oreal.
Wow.
I thought, well, I could be wrong, but I do remember like
Oh,
it
here,
wasn't like a Urban Decay. It was more like a whole.
and here's why I think there's animosity with Jules and Patrick Star. I think the animosity is because Jules collabed with Patrick Star One Size first. Then later
Mhm.
on, Jules blew up and became famous for the, very demure lingo. And then I think, which then drew up sales for Patrick Star again months later. And Jules, I don't think ever got a kickback from that. It was like a one time, one and done. Remember, Jules was just hired to be like a model for one of these products.
Can I just also add something else too that
I'm
I
not
think like
saying that
kind
she
of
should have. I'm just pointing it out there.
so my thing with Jules is I feel like her when Very Demure blew up, what happened there? Oh my gosh, sorry. When Very Demure blew up, a lot of brands who had previously like rejected her were all of a sudden
Mm-hmm.
at her doorstep. So I feel like you in
Mm-hmm.
real time you see a switch up of, oh my gosh, like I remember emailing you guys and you guys fucking hated me. Sorry, didn't mean to cuss.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden like I'm hot and you're all on me.
Back then you didn't want me. Now I'm hot. You all on me.
Exactly.
And you know what? Like when Jules blew up, and I was like, we were running stories about Jules on TikTok and YouTube. I had no idea that Jules had such like haters.
Oh yes,
I
girl.
had no idea that Jules Lebron had haters. And like I've seen stuff where it's kind of like they'll post pictures of Jules LeBron, and it'll be like, Jules LeBron spotted on Grinder hosting for BBC. And I'm just like, and let her do what she wants. What are you gonna do about it? Complain that she's getting dick down? Like, what's the issue here? Like, let her I'm
Mm-hmm.
glad she's getting BBC. I can't get BBC to save my life. Like, what is going on? Like, why are they like shaming her for doing what a lot of these people do behind the scenes? Or fake
Well, I
it?
think it's just because it's taboo, right? It's things that you don't like want to acknowledge or talk about, like unless you're like in that specific area. I don't know how to explain it. Like,
It's
you know how
not
there's like
taboo.
podcasts. Well, in a way,
Hosting,
there's
hold on.
okay,
Hosting for
girl.
BBC sounds like my Saturday night. Like, what are you talking
Okay,
about?
well, no, let's be for real. Let's just use an example. If Jaclyn Hill were to come out and say that I had an OnlyFans, right? Let's just say that. If Jaclyn
OF,
Hill were to have
OF,
said
and
that,
OF. You
okay,
have to say.
OF. Sorry, cut that out. Anyways, if Jaclyn Hill would have came out and said she had an OF at the peak of her career, you don't think that that would have like been looked at as like, hey girl, what are you doing? Right?
Mm. At the
And a
peak
lot
of
of
her career,
people,
yeah, I get what you're saying.
yeah, and that realistically look at what happened with Jules, right? So like at the peak of her career, well, I guess we can't say it was the peak, but I guess at the height of her popularity as of today, when all that stuff was coming out, it's like these people are still normal people too, right? Like they're still looking for their future partners if that's what they want. So I just feel like it's just not talked about.
And a part of the community it's kind of like this is no shocker. But
Mhm.
I think they're doing it to make her feel bad, and I don't think that's
Yeah,
right. I don't think that's right.
of
This,
course
at the
not.
same time, it's part of the gig. It's just part of the gig. Like for example, do I have a grinder? Yes. Do I have a little apps? Yes. But I'm not on there with my full face and clown makeup.
Well, you're also not talking about it on your channel either.
I'm on there with my,
Like,
a little torso, a little leg, and like, okay, there, okay, you know what I'm saying. And then,
mhm.
so and what I had seen is that it was full on Jules, body and face. So, but like, I don't see an issue with that. I just think it's just the haters coming after her. Yeah. Um, where do we go next from here? Like, I think people are gonna want more from Jules Lebron spilling the tea on the beauty community, and I think they're gonna want to know about the Dramageddon date. Um, because I mean, because I always say pattern of behavior, right? And so the pattern of behavior
Mhm.
is Jules Lebron has seen things from the outside and now has seen things from the inside. And Jules LeBron knows that drama sells. It gets clicks and views.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm a keep it real. I'm rich as I keep it real. If Jules LeBron doesn't get ready with me, I don't really care. I don't really care. I don't really care if Michaela does it. I don't care if Jeffree Star does it. I don't really care if anyone does it. I mean, that's 2016, 2017 vibes. Like, that doesn't really excite me to get ready with me to watch them anymore.
Mhm.
I already know how to apply my contour. I already know how to put on a lash.
Your wonky lash, I was gonna
Yeah,
say.
but like when Jules LeBron gets on camera and starts spilling tea about people that we know in the community, yeah, that I want to watch that. What's this about? What I'm interested in saying is that you're saying that all this is fake.
I'm
That's
saying
what
that
I'm
the
shook about.
I'm saying that the situation between her and Patrick Starr is fake. I'm not saying that. I don't know. I think that, you know what? Oh, this is so bad. I think that her adding that little detail is like making me question it a little bit. Um, but I do think that maybe in the beginning, Patrick maybe coached her, but I don't think that's the case right now.
I don't know. I think that that's too damaging for a millionaire. Patrick
Well,
Starr, probably multi-millionaire at this point, and to want to drum up some like drama like that, like I just don't see how that's beneficial to do that. And I also can, and you know what? Since we're on the topic of Patrick Starr, open a see. This is why they should never give me a podcast. Okay, this is what I feel about that. Every time I watch Patrick Starr go live or do these vlogs for YouTube, which Patrick Starr has like let's say 4 million followers, why is he only getting 7,000 views a YouTube video? That just mind blows me. That doesn't make any sense to me. But I digress. Because and that's not being shady. That's across the board for everyone's not getting views anymore. Everyone.
well, do you think it's that everyone's not getting views, or do you think that people just don't care anymore?
A little bit of both. So back to Patrick, right? I watch Patrick Starr and I just always leave watching those videos a little bit, not all the time. Like, damn, I feel tired. I feel exhausted. I think Patrick Starr is overworked and is going through a lot. And like, I don't know if you've been watching, but I have been watching his vlogs.
I don't
And
watch his vlogs.
he just talks about like a bottleneck of like he has all these things going on and it bottlenecks and how he needs an assistant and a hairstylist and makeup artist and all these the whole team just so he can get through the day and it makes it so much easier for him and da 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 da. And I'm like, I know what that's like, but I remember like you just need like one person who's really good at what they do to just help you out, who really invested in care,
Hmm.
who like really cares. And like some people will show up and it's just a job for them. They're just trying to get a quick buck. And then some people will show up and they actually really care and they're invested in the job. And that's hard to find people who actually care. And when I see Patrick Starr And I look at all these people in the one size office because he shows them a lot. I'm like, you're just wasting money right here. Like, girl, you don't need all these people. You just don't.
You
Like, and then he's every time I turn around, he's getting a bigger office, getting more office furniture. And I'm like, you don't need this. Girl, it's like, get you something from IKEA and call it a day, girl. It's fine. Chill out. And then I look at the office and it's like a nice office, but it's like a low level office, like, on the ground. It's not like on a high rise and in a
mhm.
DTLA or some, like, listen, I'm very much like go big or go home. Like, if I'm gonna have a beauty brand, I want my office to be in Beverly Hills and I want it to be on the third floor. I want a nice ass view over the city and yada 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 yada. Like, when people come, they're impressed. I don't want some garden style level office. Like, you know, I want to give this fantasy that we're on the 32nd floor in Intercontinental Hotel and that's our office up there. Like that vibe.
Mhm.
If I don't want it, we're gonna be startup until we get there. Anyway, I'm just talking out my ass, but whatever. Um, I don't went on my. Oh yeah, I just feel like Patrick Star is overworked and stressed out a lot. I think the money of him making with one size is stressing him out because it kind of falls on his shoulder to keep the brand going.
Mhm.
And I think that they,
Even
I
though he's not the CEO.
he's not the CEO, he's a founder, but he probably is replaceable. And so what I'm trying to say is that Patrick Star has to drive one size to be interesting. And he makes these viral videos that sometimes go viral, not all the time. Um, and is it not enough that you have the number one setting spray in Sephora? Is it not enough?
Well, you have to remember that you know that when you're inside Sephora, they expect like new products every single season.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just like, yes, I have the number one selling setting spray, but to sustain all of that, you have to continue like making these like nonsense products like a foundation medium or whatever, the foundation mixer, thinner, something, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I can see it where it's like he's probably the creative director and also like, maybe coming up with some, not all of the new products. And then on top of that, like his YouTube videos aren't getting the views that they once did. So there's just a lot of different factors. And I would just like to clarify that I think that I wouldn't doubt that, how do I even phrase this? Because I don't want to make it sound like I think that Jules is faking the entire thing. I think that some of it is exaggerated, but I think the thing with Dramageddon, I believe that that's true. I believe she heard those conversations. I do believe that Patrick was, how do I say it? Like how Patrick was saying, like, I'm a millionaire, mind you, like these people are struggling, blah, 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 blah. I wouldn't doubt that that happened just because we know that's who Patrick Star is. The only thing that I'm doubting is the whole situation that happened between Jules and Patrick on the set of One Size. Just clarifying.
So again, so you're are you gonna double down and think this is fake drama?
I'm saying it's not all fake drama. I'm saying the situation that happened on the set of One Size, I think it might be a little inflated. That's what I'm saying because I do believe, like, okay, you have to remember, I had just said it, that when all these brands were rejecting Jules, right? They weren't
Mm-hmm.
taking her serious. I'm assuming they weren't taking her serious. She was a struggling influencer. And to me, I feel like whenever somebody reaches out to you, like let's just say like a James Charles, right? When somebody reaches out to you, like in Kayla's situation, just because this big influencer is reaching out to you, they see something in you. And I think that at the time, Patrick saw the potential that Jules had and wanted to get in early, but then left her on the curb when nothing happened. So then circle back to when Very Demure popped off, right? Now everybody's coming back like, oh my gosh, Jules, Jules, Jules. I think Patrick saw that a long time ago. The
Mm-hmm.
same way with James, that James saw something in Kayla Malik, right?
Yeah.
I feel like they are, I don't want to say like they're needing something, but that's just what I like. I think that Patrick needed a Jules to stay relevant, right? Because the views were tanking a little bit. Well, they are, right? They're still like, I think Patrick made a like how he got to be a millionaire, what happened. I was a millionaire at 27. I didn't know what to do with it. Remember that video? It was like a business class
Yes.
almost.
Yeah, it was like
And
a
it
little
had like
little master
4,000.
class.
Yeah, it was like 4,000 views. And us, because we've been watching forever, it's like, how do you only have 4,000 views on that video? The math isn't mathing, to me at least, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that at the time, because this all kind of happened at the same time as like the whole very demure and all that fun stuff. So, or maybe not. I think this happened like early. Was it? Do you remember if that video happened this year or last year?
This year.
Okay, well, I think that I don't know. I'm just kind of talking in circles right now. This is
No,
so
it's
awkward.
fine. I mean, I think that once that happens, it just means time to end it, girl. So at this
Yeah.
point, let me know what you guys think about that in the chat down below. I think it's real. I don't think Patrick Star will respond, and I think that Jules LeBron will go on and say more stuff about Patrick. I'm shocked that he said it, but he did say Patrick Taw before, so pattern of behavior, he would say Patrick Star, and he did. And I think that some brands, not all, are gonna be like good for Jules for speaking up, and also some brands are gonna be like, oh no, Jules is too problematic. Patrick Star is really closely aligned with Tatcha, very closely aligned with Glow Recipe, just to name a few. And I could definitely see Patrick Star saying, "Okay, this one's problematic." No, 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 no. I could see that,
Hmm.
and that's all right if Patrick Star does that, and then Jules LeBron will call it out. It comes with the gig. It comes with the gig. You cross somebody, and they're gonna have their ways to kind of cross you out too. But at the end of the day, when Jules LeBron goes live, she gets more viewers than Patrick Star right now. She gets more views than Patrick Star right now. At this point, Jules LeBron is better than Patrick Star. If you look at the view wise, Jules LeBron could drop a makeup brand and see what happens, and just call it plus size instead of one size. Call it what it is.
I can't with you.
What's going on? It's Jules LeBron. I'm dropping plus size cosmetic, guys. And just base the whole brand on how that one time Patrick Star did her dirty. And you'll never let it down. I'll buy it. I think it's fun. I think it's fun. If brands like Mco Beauty and Makeup Revolution and all these dupe brands can exist, if Jules just made a one size dupe brand,
Mm-hmm.
oh my god! You know what, Ben? I'll get you right back. But
I would buy it.
she's gonna need some investors behind her. Now I've seen some online stuff about like Jules struggles with mental health. I've seen Jules post videos crying and then she deletes it. So I think that she might need help, but I will say this. Hurt people. And when I saw Jules saying that about Patrick Star, what I saw is that Jules LeBron is hurt. And she's probably hurt because she thought Patrick Star was a real one. And when she wasn't, she's hurt. That's what I saw out of this. Final
I
thoughts?
disagree. I disagree.
Okay.
Because really,
No, no,
just
it's
think
fine. No,
about
you
it.
don't have to explain. You don't have to explain. You disagree. That's all. It's cool.
I don't know. I heard you and I rolled my eyes. I was just like, please. Anyways,
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. Where can they find you?
you guys can find me at Pink Scorpio 888 on TikTok or just here as the resident correspondent.
Yes. The God Mod.
The God Mod. I do apologize, you guys. I haven't had my coffee this morning, so I feel like a little bit off. I like I'm just waking up.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's
if I sound
okay.
like I'm
Just
going in
know
circles,
drama.
yeah.
Drama never sleeps, guys. Drama never sleeps. All right,
Oh,
guys. I enjoy these, and I know you guys don't like them, but I enjoy the podcast style toward the end of the videos. So let me know what you think about this in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. And if you made it this far, drop a cheeseburger emoji in the chat. That means you made it this far in the video. Wow. Okay, bye, guys. And I want to know what you guys think about that in the comments down below. Let's talk about the new Too Faced Cosmetics Ribbon Wrapped Lash Mascara. Honestly, okay, the packaging feels very cheap. You know me, I'm Rich Lux, I keep it real. Cheap, very light, plasticky. But you know, maybe it's all about the formula and not so much about the packaging, right? And when I open it up, it smells like mascara. I have used it. I think it's like a nice tubing mascara. It did work. I think this is very for the woman. This is for the everyday, average working woman. You know me, I need a lot more drama for these lashes. But this worked very nice. I'm not mad at it. We'll see if I reach for it. That's another thing. So anyways, let me know what you think about that drama in the comments down below. This is Rich Lux with the hottest news on YouTube. Please drop a like and a comment, guys. It really helps the algorithm. So thank you so much. All right, bye.